In today's episode, we're going into this property to do a pre-move out inspection and see how much damage tenants have left us that have been here for 3 years. This is a pre-move out, which means they're still here, so fingers crossed, I guess. But I always like to get the ball rolling early so I minimize vacancy. My goal is next to 0 vacancy. Here we go. Remember, with any tenants, the goal is always minimizing or completely eliminating vacancy when possible. And the easiest way to do that is getting tenants to do work for you and starting to show the property while the tenant's still in possession of it. Because remember, all tenants want their entire security deposit back, so you want to be as detailed as possible. Well, the doorbell doesn't work, so I have to fix that. Hello, hello. Hi there. Hi, my name's Kevin. I'm replacing Lauren today. Hi. I don't think we've met before. And remember, your tenant is your best employee right before move out. They don't cost anything. Little wear and tear on the wall, painting stuff, you don't have to worry about stuff like that. If there are holes, you might want to go around and just put a little bit of spackle in, something like that. That's it. This, by the way, was the first rental property Lauren and I ever bought. We had no money, so we had to use the cheapest stuff possible, which includes carpet. This is Bobby. He's just going to take some measurements if you don't. I think Lauren mentioned to you somebody might come today. Okay, perfect. So feel free to do your thing, do some measurements. We installed this carpet back when Lauren and I were just 19 and 20 years old. And hey, it lasted 7.5 years, so we'll take it. Now, what's cool about Bobby going out to measure is because we had no money when we were 19 and 20 years old, we were on our hands and knees scrubbing the existing linoleum in the bathrooms. Now that we've owned the property for over 7.5 years, we've built up a reserve and we can spend that on new flooring. And I want the most rent possible with the highest possible quality tenant. That's what I teach in the courses as well. Also, I make it a practice not to show rental real estate to any prospective tenants unless all the improvements are done, because the best quality tenants, hate to say it, they oftentimes don't have an imagination for what you're going to do. Also, if on this property I wasn't planning on replacing the flooring, I would be showing the property right now, so that way I could line up my next tenant before this tenant officially moves out. Now, when you're inspecting, it's important to look for things that the tenant would be responsible for, like damage that they left from a water leak, or cleaning issues, like the inside of cupboards, the little knobs, the oven, inside the dishwasher. Things they would be responsible for are things you want to task them with. Here, I don't know what it was like before, but maybe if you went through and kind of like wiped down just the knobs on everything, it's just a little cleaning thing that I know they get really picky. I'm trying to be as picky as possible to help you out, because the more I can tell you, the better. Remember, as soon as the tenant leaves, you can't rely on them to fix anything anymore, like damage to door jambs. And hey, super quick intermission. I just want to let you know that coupon code THX24 does expire on the 25th, and the pricing, if you buy before the Black Friday sale, is going to be better. I guarantee that. So if you're interested in that real estate investing course where you get me in the private live streams, you get to consult with me, you get our private Discord group or the agent group where you get the live streams as well. You can check out the other courses like the finance or property management ones as well. People have been absolutely loving the knowledge they gain there, and I'm sure you will as well. Small investment for what you get. But seriously, use that coupon code before November 25th. You're gonna get a better deal. Yes, there'll be a Black Friday deal, but hey, for my loyal audience who's watching every day, especially videos like this, I want to reward you. Use that code, and hey, thanks so much, and let's get back to the video. Just a heads up, the reason for that is I wanted to experiment with running some ads for Black Friday, and those cost money. Now, even though you have a security deposit to work with, remember, the goal is minimizing empty days. Every day costs money, and I want to bring the flooring guy in day one, floor it, touch up paint, and have that property rented within a week. This is also a good opportunity to remind your tenants to follow their lease and contractual obligations, like specific cleaning. Just check, and I say this to everybody, it's not this is anything specific, but check the addenda on your lease, because I know she writes a bunch of stuff, usually.
What does that mean?
So like usually the last couple pages of your lease, she'll have written in like things to do when you move out.
Oh, okay.
And so I would just check that. Do you have the lease handy, or do you want me to re-email it to you?
Yeah.
For example, one of her obligations is having a specific window company clean the windows.
But yeah, for like, and I would always recommend do it as late as possible in your lease term.
Okay.
Because the last thing you want is like, you do all this today, and then in 10 days it's dirty again, right?
It's gonna rain.
Exactly.
Now, before we get to the shocker, let me explain where the money is coming from for replacing the flooring. I never like taking money out of my pocket on real estate. See, over 7.5 years, we've put aside $200 per month, which, if you think about it, that's $18,000. We've only spent about $5,000 on repairs, which leaves us with $13,000 in the reserve for this property. We know the roof is old, so at some point we're going to have to replace that roof. But for now, we're thinking if we spend $5,000 to $6,000 on flooring, paint, and a little bit of touch-up, we'll still have $7,000 in our reserve budget, and then we'll have new flooring that should last us for the next 20 plus years. Now, in that same real estate investing course, I teach the 3 main forms of tenant leverage that you as a landlord have over your tenants. But remember, tenants are still human, so sometimes they do unexpected things. And so while everything was going good, this was a little bit of a shocker.
Was there always this drywall here?
No.
Oh, did you add drywall? Oh, really? Oh, wow. Oh, you drywalled the whole garage?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
This was up against the wall.
It was just all like the wood studs and everything, right? And you wanted to. Wow. Oh, you added this here.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow, look at that. Oh my gosh. Well,
It
it's-
looks gorgeous.
he does this kind of work? I mean, this looks really nice and good. Wow. Okay, great. Wow. Well, all of this, he even put this metal frame in here around this. Wow. Okay. Does he have drywall experience?
We do it for a living.
Okay. Well, that explains it.
Now, after this tenant just improved our property by $3,000, I talked to the contractor about some of our plans, which I want to show you some tips and tricks for dealing with contractors. But first, I want to show you how my phone call with Lauren went when I break the news to her, and this is not what you're going to expect.
Okay, so tell me how the house was.
Okay, yeah. So I went there, and I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna have this thing ready until like February.
What? Why?
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much have to somehow figure out how to schedule the floor guy, and yeah, I mean that's yeah.
Oh, you're messing with me, okay?
They drywalled the garage for us and added built-in custom shelving in the garage. Yeah.
Well, you know, even though that's great and all, I really don't like them not asking me. That makes me a little upset. But
What?
no, I'm serious. I'm serious. It's not okay to change properties, even if it's because I mean that's great that it was good, but it's not okay that they did that without my permission.
So yes, Lauren is correct. Tenants should not make any improvements to a property without permission, even if they're good upgrades like this. The reason is it's actually very rare for a tenant to be a professional drywall installer and then install drywall. Like, this is a fluke. This is freaking awesome. I mean, this is better than I think what my drywall guy would have done. But that's a pretty rare circumstance. Sometimes you go to the situations like this and people will create a disaster of a custom something, and you look and you go, oh my gosh, if we remove this and fix it or do it right, it's gonna cost more money than what the security deposit is that we have. So the reason Lauren got a little bit upset there is solely because anytime a tenant does work, there's a risk level. Starbucks is so loud that they did it poorly.
Kevin, mobile order.
Oh, that's me.
Awesome.
That was great timing, thank you. Sorry, Graham. I don't play that no Starbucks.
All right, now let's go back to the contractor. Just so you know, I always talk to contractors away from tenants. They do not need to be a part of that discussion. That's why I always say, let's talk outside.
And yeah, feel free to do some measurements.
Okay.
And then we can talk outside.
Sure.
But how you treat contractors is very important. A lot of real estate investors come from the angle of, oh, bow down to me, I'm a god. It's a terrible way to do that.
We can actually still find that baseboard and then put
I don't want that baseboard.
That baseboard
Yeah,
is like
it's old.
arcade. It's really
I would
simple.
say, if you could bid out your labor for doing, the demo,
The takeout.
new baseboards everywhere, and the new luxury vinyl plank, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And then just let me know. We're thinking this will probably be available for you the 3rd or 4th.
Okay, you got it.
And even when I have to ask him to repair a prior job, this is how I do it.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, and then the only other thing is, I think when you get a chance, would you mind just taking a peek? I think there are there are 2 boards in the family room and 1 in the master. I thought maybe could use a small adjustment, but otherwise I think it looks everything looks pretty great.
Is anybody in there? right
No,
now?
no,
Is
it's
it
empty.
Still the combination?
Same thing. Yeah.
I'll stop by.
There should be blue tape. If not, call me, and I'll just show you. But it was 2 spots in the middle
On
of
the living room?
in the living room, and then 1 in the Front bedroom, the really dark bedroom by the front door.
The right-hand
Yeah,
side.
yeah, yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kevin.
All right, we'll see you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks.
Have a good day.
You too. All right, so that was pretty shocking. What I'm going to do now, though, because I promised them, is I'm going to get on this laptop, I'm going to write up their pre-move out inspection, so that way that's, oh my gosh.
And I don't want my memory to fade, so I'm gonna hop on the laptop in the car and do it right away.
But really, I have to say, for this property being our first rental renovation ever, and we've had the property for 8 years, we've barely had to spend money on it. You know, a lot of people are super like, ooh, I don't want carpet, I don't want carpet. I'm like, that freaking carpet lasted us 8 years. But right now, I'm gonna do that pre-move out inspection, as I promised, send it over to them with DocuSign before I even leave here, and boom, I'm on to the next job.